What is going on, guys? It's SquireTrades here, back with episode 11. It is August 29th at 3:34 p.m., 26 minutes until the market closes. And this is a big episode. We not only captured a great execution yesterday, we also got one today, and we are on an absolute heater right now. So let's quickly dive into it. I don't want to make this video too long. Let's get into yesterday and what I saw. So really quickly here, if we go back to yesterday's 4-hour chart and we kind of replay it a little bit, you will see, and I'm introducing ES. This is the first time I've done this, so I just kind of want to briefly explain what an SMT is and how I use it. So as you can see here on NQ, coming into yesterday, this is your 6 a.m. 4-hour candle. You can see right here that we have this, what we would call an external range liquidity. We also call this buy side liquidity, right? And what happens? Well, it doesn't get swept, right? You just have it resting there, and we come up, we try to sweep it, we fail, right? What do we have down here? You've got, you guessed it, sell side liquidity. This is also external range liquidity, just as this is external range liquidity, but this is sell side and this is buy side, right? So not only do we have this sell side, failure to sweep this liquidity, we've got this large fair value gap over here that we're also looking at. And you also have, never mind, that's already been swept before, so that doesn't even matter. But you got your buy side, external, sell side, external, 4-hour fair value gap, right? But here, if you come over to ES, at this same exact time, look at this. I mean, this is just absolutely textbook right here. Boom. What do you have here? Same thing we had on the other side. Buy side liquidity. What happened here? It got swept. Where did it get swept? This wick right here. During the London session, we swept buy side liquidity. It's beautiful. Not only did we sweep buy side, we failed to displace up, and in doing so, we also respected this fair value gap. So coming into the day, I was sitting there thinking, yeah, definitely a short bias, definitely need to find a way to get in this and target this sell side liquidity. On ES, you also have this as a level that you're looking at. To dig a little deeper, you've got this level. I mean, it just looked really good for shorts yesterday. So that's what an SMT is. It's when ES comes up and sweeps a high or a low, and NQ at the same time fails to sweep that liquidity. That is what an SMT is. And it can work both ways. Like ES, for example, could have came and not swept this high, and NQ could have. It could have been the opposite of what happened, but that's no big deal. Kind of water under the bridge, but that's just what an SMT is, to briefly explain. So jumping down here into the 15-minute chart, I hopped on the charts here at 8 or 9 or so, or whatever it was yesterday. And I just took this straight up right here, I think. No, I didn't. That's a 96-point stop. Which one did I take? Oh, here it is. I took this right here. Boom. Stops here at 51 points. And where was my target, guys? You freaking guessed it. Boom. There it is. I didn't even dig down to the 1-minute chart for this execution. I just got in on the 15-minute at 8:15, and I let this ride, and look at what ended up happening. All the way down into this 4-hour fair value gap. It was absolutely textbook. Come up, failed to sweep this liquidity, but ES sweeps it right here. Boom, displaced to the downside, right? What is this? Swing low, swing high, displace through. You've got your fair value gap after the market structure shift. This didn't end up holding, actually, so my idea, in theory, what I would have wanted to see is this fair value gap get respected. And what I mean by get respected is I don't want these bodies of the candles to come in and close above the fair value gap. As you can see, we actually had 1, 2, 3 different candles disrespect this fair value gap. And at that point, I was sitting there thinking, like, I'm definitely going to get stopped out of this. This YouTube video is going to be about my loss. But what ended up happening is the market opens, we come up, we swept this buy side liquidity at market open, and just like that, we are absolutely gone with the wind. And I will let the rest of this play out. Boom, there you go. So all the way until the market closed down here, it was a very, very, very great trade. But like I said, I ended up getting out somewhere down here in this ballpark for 2 to 3R. And that's due to work. I was in a training for work, learning how to do some really cool special stuff that will give me more responsibility that I'm really excited for. But that's why I didn't hold this trade for longer. I was no longer able to manage it due to the training. So, jumping into today, I will admit I was wrong. But I still managed to win, and that's what is important about today, and that's the lesson that I'm going to harp on here for the next 5 minutes. We came into today, and I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, we've displaced, right? If you replay this back to this morning's candle, this is what I'm seeing here. So you guys know that very often I harp on external range liquidity, right, to internal range liquidity, okay? So we've came down, we've taken this external, this low right here. We also had this external. So here is your market structure shift, right? And then once you see a market structure shift, what else are you looking for? Well, you're looking for the fair value gap that's left behind, right? Right. So we come in, market structure shift, boom, fair value gap, boom, it's beautiful, right? And this is what I'm seeing this morning. So I'm just sitting here and I'm automatically like, this is a pretty nice ride up, but we've got all of these levels of liquidity that, in my opinion, the market was generating so that we could come in one clean swoop and swipe it all. Is that what ended up happening? No, not in the AM session, but it eventually did end up happening in the PM session here in about the last hour or two. We'll get there. So we came up and I'm thinking, okay, I want the, look at this. We're putting in a swing low, right? It's beautiful. So at this point, what I was thinking is, boom, you know, come up, we're creating. And I was thinking, right, maybe we'll create an SMT here with ES, displace, retrace, gone. That's what I was hoping for. And then at the end of the day, I was really hoping to go see this external get taken down here, this sell side liquidity, this level. This is what I wanted to see today. What actually ended up happening was this 4 hour fair value gap. If I go ahead and let this play out until 10 o'clock, you guys will see that at 10, we end up not respecting this fair value gap. Okay, so at that point, here's what I'm thinking. I'm originally coming into the day thinking, this is my sell side liquidity. This is my target, external, internal, fair value gap. We're going to respect this, build some structure, and then come down and take this liquidity, right? Too bad. That's not what happened. We actually ended up at 10 o'clock not respecting this fair value gap. And at that point, I said, okay, now I need to flip my bias. Now I'm looking at longs, right? But where am I looking to get long to? Well, we have these relative equal low or highs from this SMT that we actually created yesterday that I just talked about 2 minutes ago. We've got these relative equal highs. I'm thinking this liquidity absolutely needs to get swept. So I'm digging down here onto the 15-minute chart, and I'm looking at this, right? You've got your market structure shift here. Actually, this would just be a break of structure. So you've got your break of structure. You've got your break of structure fair value gap. Boom, right? You dig down into that fair value gap. And my model says once you dig down into this fair value gap with your target being up here, you need to get down into the 1 minute chart and find an entry, right? So that's exactly what I ended up doing. You can see right here, we're just building all this structure, you know, whatever. I don't care. We come down, dig into this 15-minute fair value gap, And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, now I need a market structure shift, right? So where's my market structure shift? You get that right here. Boom. What are you looking for in this case in a bullish scenario? What are you looking for above the market structure shift, right? Because we're bullish. We're above the market structure shift or in between it or right on it. You're looking for a fair value gap, okay? That's this fair value gap. I'm not interested in this fair value gap down here for one main reason. This, to me, right here, this gap is before the market structure shift. So we've never confirmed that this structure shift was valid, and this fair value gap is under that, right? So this fair value gap, I don't even care about. This fair value gap confirmed to me that this shift is valid. We've dug into this fair value gap. We've seen what we need to see. Now we're officially looking at 694.25 as our draw on liquidity, okay? So I placed my entry here. I placed my stop loss down here at the bottom of this fair value gap. And what was I looking at? I was looking at 394 as my target. What do? We actually don't even end up coming up and sweeping this liquidity. But something you guys will find about me is I'm out of every single one of my positions between 2 and 3R. If I'm really confident, I'll let it run until 3, but I try not to get too greedy. Most times in my trades, I'll just take a hard exit at 2R, and I'll hold the position until then, and I'll get all the way out. In today's scenario, I ended up getting out somewhere up here at around 2.5R or whatever it was, to put me in a really good spot. So just to update you on my two accounts, I've still got my Apex account, and I've still got my funded futures account, and both of them are great. Apex, I'm up $2,600 on that account, so I'm just waiting for my 10 trading days to hit so that I can request a payout on Apex. And then as far as my funded futures goes, they require you to have 5 winning days. I believe I'm on day 3 or day 4 of that today. So now at this point, it's really just sit here, be patient tomorrow, don't give up my great week, don't give up my gains. And going into next week, I'm thinking I'm going to have 2 winning days by the end of next week. I'm going to request a $1,000 payout with my funded futures. They're going to pay me out. It's going to be beautiful. And at the end of that, I'll have money to reinvest, to get more accounts, to keep scaling this business, and to keep grinding on our road to becoming a full-time trader. So with that being said, it's been SquireTrades. It's been a great Wednesday. It's been a great episode 11. Actually, it's been a great Wednesday and a great Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, going into Labor Day weekend. I'm stoked. You're stoked. We're all excited. We're all chasing this journey. We're all chasing this dream. This is what we want to do. And I hope all of you guys are doing really well. I hope you've killed it this week. I hope you killed it last week. I hope you continue to kill it as we go into this next month. And I hope life's treating you well. It's been SquireTrades, guys. Have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. Have a great Labor Day. Enjoy your Monday off. And we'll see you next time for episode 12 of Road to Becoming a Full-Time Trader. SquireTrades, we're out.